Tulu Street font you have to download. And initially, when you type in Tulu, we are using Malayalam because Unicode has not come for Tulu.
Okay.
So what you have to do is download Tulu Street font, which I'll give you a link if you don't have it, and then highlight the text and then say Tulu Street font in Windows or Notepad. I'll show you where the font settings are. Then automatically it will come in Tiglari.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, now I think I will quickly go over the PowerPoint. I got most of the images ready. Did all of you slowly start looking into the things? Zoom in. You're able to find the hint from where we started, where the sloka ended. Okay, I'm going to start with the image. I'm unable to pull the PowerPoint up. So let me start with the image. So suddenly it looks, this is one of the harder manuscripts we took. We took one of the difficult one where the ink is not there. So very slowly you kind of zoom in. Very slowly zoom in. And sometimes, you need to kind of use some hints where we are starting. So I hope you can see this image now. So you see this hole, right? The hole where we are tying. Right next to it, you'll see this one, right? You'll see the double danda and one. So this was the hint for us. So this is from the top, I think the fifth line, I guess, right next to the hole. So if you go left, see the hole is right there, right? So that was a hint for us. So we started from there. So this first line, you can zoom it further if you wish. So if you see after one, it is Putatma. So if you look at the Tulu Tiglari text, so just remember, if you remember your alphabets, so Pa and U. So in this author, the U-kar is written like this at the bottom, right? So in Tiglari, the idea is you start at one place and end in one. You don't have to lift your hand up. So what they're doing, they're continuously writing like this, bringing it down, and then continuing like Ukara. So in one stroke, they're writing Pu. Same thing with every alphabet. Only difference in this author, the second alphabet is Ta. It looks like this number 3, right, with the little hole in the middle. So this is Ta. And the Akara is coming after some space. I don't know why this author has left some space. So Pu Ta and then Ta Uttakshar Ma. Ta and Ma in one stroke he has combined. So this author, some of the Uttakshar he has written side by side like Malayalam. So he did not write like Kannada at the bottom. He has tried his best, but most like here, he has combined with one stroke. Ta and Ma Adivat in one stroke itself he has finished. Okay. So these are the things like for image processing. I know 2 or 3 of you have taken that image processing, the machine learning thing I sent you last week. Now we need some volunteers, young volunteers during summer break. if they can cut like this, so if they can cut and kind of save it as some folder where it's all tas or taksharma, TMA or something like that. So we know all the different things, some samples to train the computer that this is tama and this is akara. So you have to add with the previous. So we have to train a lot of this, like how we are training our brain. So ta, okay, this is belonging to ta. He's given some space in between, so that he does not damage this manuscript. So he has given some space. That is the idea of training. So someone has to do. So some volunteers, I've seen some parents willing to do it. Uh, their children also know alphabet. So it is great that we have a lot of this database building up. So as we said, with this one we went over last week. So is everyone familiar with this? With the text that you have, notepad, are you able to cross check both Kannada? So now let me load Tulu. So you saw Putatma right there, right? At least the first word, just look at it, Putatma, right? So now let me load the uh, so the beauty about this is we already have this text, so we are able to show you this, right? So the ones that I've highlighted, you see Putatma, Paramatma, Paramatma cha. Now, remember Satish sir had given you that pegging, we are linked to a pegging class, right? All of you have access. So suddenly, even those who have taken the class or who have not, suddenly you have a brush up there. So you can start brushing up, right? So now it's easier for all of you to kind of remember what is the pegging technique Satish ji had taught you, right? So we can kind of remember. So within no time, you'll start reading, right? Put Atma, Param Cha. So you can see side by side. I had it in the PowerPoint. Once I pull the PowerPoint, I'll show you side by side, along with the manuscript and this cut and pasted text at the bottom. So very easily you can start reading. Or you keep Kannada or Devanagari underneath, also you'll be able to start reading. So this is the training set we are starting with. So other manuscripts we have collected are much easier to read, the very little bit cleaner. Some alphabets we don't know. So as you write in that template, please put an X. So suddenly you don't understand an alphabet, you just put an X and keep proceeding. Okay, you just keep proceeding line by line. So most of these authors, it is not just, I don't know why, they don't leave a gap between alphabets. Maybe they understand the stotra, they didn't need any need to waste space. So I'm guessing that is what they've done. So in this sloka, we know where it's starting right now, right? From at least from that midpoint. And we start continuing line by line and see what is written in each line. And then we can kind of rewrite like nicely in a notepad like this. But initially, line by line, you just decipher what you can see and start putting it. Okay. So now let me go back to the image. So So can anybody slowly start uh, telling us these lines? So I'm also keeping a cheat sheet on the right side, right? So always that helps me. Or you keep a keyboard, you have the keyboard in front of you, you know where the alphabets roughly. So, within no time, like last week, we went over a little faster because we knew the alphabets. So let me go. Okay. So keep your cheat sheet on the right side and also the Tulu converted cheat sheet, so you can easily follow it, right? Otherwise, it's suddenly becoming difficult. So I'll just go over this one or two lines so you get familiar with this. So after one, my mouse is pointing. So pu, ta, tma. This ta, ma, otakshar. Pu, ta, tma. Then it is, so there is an akara, pu, ta, tma. Okay. You see, there is no gap here at all between the words. So that's the one that for us, we are used to gaps. We are having a hard time. So pu, ta, tma. And then the next one is pa. You can see immediately pa, pa, ra, right? So para, ma. That looks like number 2. That is ma. Para, ma, and then akara. Para, ma. And then ta, number 3. Ta and ma combined with takshar. Paramatma. And there is a akara. Paramatma. So what is the next alphabet? So it's a little wrong. He starts from here, little long. It goes like this, and this. Paramatma. That cha. Okay. Remember the pegging image for cha. So please remember that suddenly if you're getting confused with the Kannada alphabet. So Paramatma cha. What is the next one?
Mu.
Paramatma cha ma. Right?
Ma uga oot.
U. Ma ge u kara. Mu. Right? So this u is a circle u. Small u is written. Right? So mu, and then ka. You see, this ka is started in your keyboard. Our font, we have cut the ka in this side little bit, but some manuscripts have started very long like this, right? Ka, and it's combined ka and this is ta. You see this? So let me move it to the middle. So, so you can see ka, right? That looks like the Kannada da, right? So, and ka and ta are combined. So instead of writing at the bottom Ottakshar, it's easy when they're using in their manuscript with the, they are scribing like this, right? So it's easy for them to write next to each other like Malayalam. So that's what these authors have done. So they don't have to lift your hand again to write it was not so easy like our pen or pencil to write, right? They have to make a groove. Very carefully they have to do it. So that is why they are combined in same line. Ta and ma. Paramatma, and this akara is here, right? Paramatma, mukta, Paramatma ended there. So, mu, ka, ta, mukta, and this is the one that looks like number 3.
Na.
Na, right? The only difference between na and ta is there is ta has a hole here. Na doesn't have a hole, right? So that is the difference. Muktanam, this is here, right? So what else you have? Muktanam. Then after that, pa, right? Muktanam, pa. And I think it ends there. Then it goes to the next line. Right? So again, when you go to the next line, keep some hint. But suddenly you will not know where you are. So some hint on your screen so you can continue. So this is a harder manuscript we are taking just so that you get used to it. So the other manuscripts, it's a little clean. The ink is set in, right? In this, the ink is either dried out or they didn't have time to ink it. Okay, so we are starting with Ra. Pa ended in that previous line. So in your sheet, you go to the next line, right? So I forget, this is the 6th line, is it? 6th line, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 6th line. So we have Ra here, right? So we started there with Pa and Ra, Para, Ma. Ma and Akara is there here. Para, Ma, right? Parama, and this ga, ga like garagasa. You see this? Remember the pegging technique? Ga, ga, and this is ta, ta and ikara. Again, for ikara, he didn't have to take his hand out. He starts from here, writes, and it takes it up again in the same hole, and he makes ikara. Okay, so that's why he has combined it very closely. So paramagati he, right? So there is anuswara, and then the next line starts. So if you go to your cheat sheet, if you see what is there, that is line number 275. Avyayaha, avyayaha. So next one is a. So I'm going to move it to the center now, right? You can see a. So his a is like the a that Satish taught you, ane, a for ane, right? So sanna, he just tried small a. So you got to kind of see. For big a, he kind of pulls it at the bottom. So this is the small a, right? So just remember, certainly, if you are not getting confused with the other thing, so whether it's Vattakshar or something like that, ta and
this is ta and ta wattu looks very similar to this.
Very similar, yes. But this, he has given a circle here. That was the only way I could differentiate. So ta and ta wattu, this circle is not there, right? So in this, he has given a circle. Right?
Yeah, the circle is in the opposite, like in the middle lines versus the last.
Was the last. So that's how I could identify this as a.
Gotcha.
And same thing, if Siona can slowly start cutting this, and she has a cheat sheet on the side. Maybe in English, if she can read also, is this. She can cut this part of the image and store it first, right? Even for us, it will be helpful. Yeah, so we can all put this I, U, Ka, Varga and everything. So immediately for us to go to a cheat sheet, it's easy for this author. So and also for the machine learning folks, it is needed. Okay, so and this is va and ya together. Ya Vattakshar. So va is like like this kind of sa we write in Kannada. Va, right? So what was the pegging that Satish ji had taught for va? What image was that? Vadya. Vadya is like a saxophone or a long instrument. So he had that like a long instrument like this. Va, and this is ya adivat. Similar to the Kannada ya adivat. Va and ya, vya. Okay. So it also looks like the ya alphabet itself. The Vattakshar is not different from the actual alphabet. In Kannada, our Vattakshars are almost different from the actual alphabet. But in Tulu, Tiglari, almost they are same, right? So that is the ease in which they can write. So avya, ya, right? See, this is the ya adivattu on the left, and this is the ya here. So a portion of it they have copied, right? The one that looks like number 2 tilted. This is ya. So this is the previous bit is the Vattakshar. Okay. So suddenly if you see something like a U, it's a ya Vattakshar, right? So U is part of like this. Avyayaha. And then the next one. What alphabet is this? The last line also ended is pa and u, pu. Okay. So it stops, and we go to the next part after the whole, right? So the line above is where we started. So here ra and u kara, puru, and you see the sha. So when you see something like this, it is sha, right? With the line down like an S. This is sha, puru, sha, and purusha, and then in shloka there is visarga here. I don't see visarga here. 2 dots are missing. But it continues. Purusha, and then sa. You see this? Sa and ka. Right? The sa also is not clear to me. It looks like ta itself, right? or na, but this is sa. It starts from the bottom like sarpa. Okay, sarpa thing you saw, right? Sa. So like snake. So that's what is starting from the bottom like this. So sa, ka, and sha vatakshar. Right? You see how he's combining with the same stroke. He's writing two alphabets next to each other. That is means they're combined. Two consonants are combined. Sakshi, ikara. Right? So sakshi, right? So, and then he has ka and sha. And this ekara belongs to this ka only. Sometimes you get confused whether, see, this ikara is on the top, so we know it ended. So this belongs to the next alphabet. Right? Sometimes there may be confusion whether this belongs to this or this. So some judgment may be needed there.
Satish, he gave us a very nice clue. If it's got that circle, that suli, typically it goes to the letter after.
After,
if it's just an akara, there is no swirl.
Okay.
So that seems to be a common theme. Like right above that, you'll see that the akara has no swirl.
No, here there is nothing. Yes. So this has got this. Okay.
That is, for the most part, has stayed the same.
Okay. So that's a good one. Thank you. So ka and sha and ikara. Kshi.
Sorry, can you repeat that observation, please?
Okay. Now let's hop one line above. Here you see ta and ma uttakshar, right? Tma. And then there is a gap, and then there is akara, paramatma. So this akara does not have a circle here. Right? It's like a question mark. He has written like a question mark. There's no circle there. Now, if you see the bottom, very character at the very bottom, and that always belongs to the character on the left, akara. Now, at the character on the bottom, you see like a circle, right? Same thing like a question mark, but there is a circle in the beginning, suruli. Whenever you see that, the hint is that it belongs to the next alphabet. This is not an akara belonging to previous. This belongs to the next.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So that's what the hint was. I hope things are, okay. You guys can follow now. So this is why we took the hardest manuscript initially, and that is familiar also. But then you'll see as we pull up the other manuscripts, it's easier and better. Okay. So now, Paramatma, where were we? So we were in this line, right? Yeah, we were here, right? Somewhere here. So
Sakshi.
Sakshi. Okay. And then let me center. So what's the next alphabet? So there is this line at the bottom, that is Ra, Patakshar Ra. All right. So this is Ta and Ra, right? Ta and Ra, Vatakshar. Like the Kannada Ra, Vatakshar itself.
You missed one kshe. The kshe.
Kshe. Okay. Yeah. This is Ka. Yes, we were talking here, this circle. Yeah. That belongs to this. This is Ksha. Kshe. Okay. Kshe, Ra, Ta and Ra Vatakshar. So again, there is a circle here. So this belongs to the next alphabet. So the next alphabet is a very long one like this. You remember Ja for Jade. Jade is like the hair.
Braid.
Braille. So this is a long one. So this is Ja, not A or Na. Right? So there is some gap here in the middle. You see, right? Like the three thing. And then we go like this. So this is Ja. So you see, it is like as though it's three characters combined. That's how this author is writing Ja. So a very long one. This one easily you can identify once you realize this length very quickly. You know it belongs at. So now he has also got an this symbol on the right. So one on the left, one on the right. So what is that word? What is it called? Jo. Right? For Jo, you get on both sides. So Jo. right? And then there is ka, jo. Actually, according to the sloka, there is nya vattakshar. I don't see the nya anywhere. So maybe.
Ukshate, ka gisha
Undu ksha, but before ksha there is a nya vattakshar. Nya, kshetra, jno. I only see jo. I don't.
Jo, if you look at it, there's like an E looking thing.
Yes. Combined na here. Yes.
Yeah.
So instead of so this is not na, it's nya. Chacha jajanya. Okay. So it looks like na, but yeah, if you see the right extension, right? Is that correct? Just check your alphabet list.
That is correct. It looks like a E, kind of very short E with a surli on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. So that is nya, kshetrajno. Yeah. Sometimes we get confused, but now as you get familiar to the writing style, then you can easily see. And this is ka and sha. You see this? Ka and sha. Ksha. Kshetrajno ksha. Ra. Bring it to the center. And then what is the next alphabet after Ra? Ra is easy to identify, right? So, Kshetrajno.
Akshara evacha.
Evacha. Evacha. This is A. And Va. Va is here. The next character is Va. And Cha. So here's the style of writing Cha, very long like this, right? Evacha. And he ends there with double danda, and number 2 ends the double danda. Okay. So
someone who's familiar with Sanskrit will be finding it much easier to translate.
Yeah. That's why. See, the hint I got was I was reading the words randomly because we don't know where is the start and where is the end in this man. Because I randomly got this sheet from Udupi. And then suddenly Shastriji said, that word is not the beginning. And he found which part of the sloka it was. In no time, he popped it up and told me. So Swamiji, how do you feel? You are familiar with Sanskrit. So any tips for us? Do we have to keep somebody with that knowledge next in the beginning, or we initially decode and then take it to scholars? Okay. 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 Sanskrit. Okay. And thank you, Swamiji. So for those of you, we also have Kannada Dinda Samskrita. So there is a 25 free lessons that Shastriji has put it. Me, Shastriji, we have it. I don't know Sanskrit very well, but there is a class we have put from Kannada how to learn Sanskrit. So simple words are there. But the next set, probably commonly used words, we'll try to compile and get somebody to teach, maybe. So this is how that line is. So again, we went on this next line and then we kind of tracked where it ends, right? So this shloka ends, I think, in number 4 in this. So I had given a hint in WhatsApp. So as an exercise, can you folks kind of continue and start entering? So some portions like here are damaged, okay? But for the most part, we are able to kind of see it and decipher it. So this is page number 2. Okay. So make sure you put that number of the manuscript also. So I think very slowly we'll tag. What we are doing is I'm making folders for all of you. So each of you, each team, 2 or 3 of you, I know you have submitted who you want as team members. If not, I'll assign it. And then what we can do is we can make those groups and start for you to submit, okay, on a weekly basis. So whether you guys are meeting on Saturday or Wednesday, if you can find your convenient time with your teams. But for us, and to also show it to scholars or as a group, once a month we are meeting. A weekly meeting is for your teams. Monthly meeting is to compile. So as and when you submit each week or each day, whenever some of you could be doing it when you're free, please submit in those folders, and we'll put some index as to, so we know which team it's coming from, the date, and which manuscript. So some small index will be there for the file name. So then we can start slowly taking your decoded ones, and also one for the image of the, if you're using Word or Notepad, then preferably WordPad would be easy for you, I think. But those in Mac, let me know which one you're using. So we should be able to open it up like this Notepad text file. So I should be able to open it up. Mac format, I think, I don't know, when you save, it gives you an option. For Windows, I'm not sure. Just check it. So as a text file, if I get, I have Tulu font, I can put the Tulu on it and read it very quickly, right? So that one, when you start submitting, we'll start compiling. So I think that maybe 5 or 6 teams in this group. So my goal is, if you can on a weekly basis, if you can get at least 5-6 lines done between 3 of you, that's a big progress. Because we want to get to some of this. We've got one of Madhvacharya's thing, which is important. I don't know if that has been decoded or not. And the other one is from Abhiram's family, that big manuscript text. So that everybody is curious what's in there. So we want to help and decode at least the beginnings of it. And then the other one, pardon?
One request. Can we assign teams that are sort of homogeneous in terms of competence? For example, if it's possible to have 2 novices with an expert, it will be probably helpful to everybody. If it's possible.
Yeah, I'll try. Like some, like Srivalli, Tirtha, they're all familiar with the script. Okay. Right. So that
I'm
way,
a complete novice. I would appreciate somebody.
Yeah. That's why we gave you the link to pegging. But you are familiar with Sanskrit sloka, so it's easy for you to quickly say the sloka. That way, it's a good match between, and in no time you'll start, familiarizing the alphabets. Okay.
As long as Arvindana is ready to work on Wednesday mornings, I'll take Arvindana and my team.
That's very kind.
Yeah, Wednesday morning. You just let me know. I don't know the free times you have on Wednesday morning, so half an hour or 1 hour if you can spare. This will becomes a very good, practice. So I'll hopefully by this week we'll have the times and dates. So let me open up. So as I said, that ends in, I think, Shloka 4. So let me open up the next file. It's number 3, third page that I got. Okay. So that's why I gave links to you guys directly to the Google Drive. So you can get the high resolution images, because once I send it in WhatsApp, it becomes, so I think it'll ask you to enter your email and it'll ask me for permission. I'll grant it. So once I'm granting it, so you'll have access to all the images. And also the class notes. So I put it up there. So in this, I think it is starting with, sometimes as a clue, you see where it ends and just put the number for the shloka. Okay. So this
for this one, I started with the second line. It was pretty easy.
Easy, second line. Okay. So second line is,
it starts with
Swayam, is it?
No, the second one starts with, where is that? I decoded it earlier.
Yeah, Swayambhu. Okay, I found it
yes.
here.
Where is
So
it?
Sa, the very first line is from Shloka.
Okay, I started with the second one because it
Second
was
one.
clearer.
Okay. So some of you, if you find next one is easy, you start with that, right? And then you come back to that first line. So she started with Anadhi, right?
It was Data.
Data. Okay.
Data Vidata. It started.
Data Vidata. Okay, yeah. Right. So the in the middle of the word of the second line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So second word, it starts with second word. So let's go back to the first line itself. So it is Swayam. I know it's dark there. So Swa, Sa and Va Vattakshar, Ya and right? Swayam, and then this big Bhu, right? You see this is a big Bhu, Buhu, right? So, and Visarga is there. And immediately, next one is Sha. You see like Shanka, the Sha. Sha is like Shanka, remember? So, Sham, right? Sham, Bhu. Again, this big Bhu. For Ukara, you just use this line at the bottom. You see it? Like the Ta Vattakshar, he has taken it on the other side. Okay? You look, Bhu, and then he has continued the line like this. Bhu, Shambhu. Okay? So, Shambhu Radityaha is the actual word. Ra, Akara, Ra, Dhi. Like the tilted three, right? Is Dhi. Ikara on the top. Radhi. And then this is Ta. There is a hole in the middle. It's Ta. And Ya combined. Tya. So Ya Vattakshari is combined like this, right? So Ta and Ya. Tya, Ha. Shambhu Raditya, Ha. Okay. So we know where this is starting right now, right? So then I went on going to the ends, right? So anybody gone this far? So what I saw, I think in the WhatsApp, I said it ends in 8, I think. Not completely, just before, I think, was it 8? Let me see. 10th sloka. So if I were to scroll down in the text file, the 10th sloka, it's not complete, but it ends in the 10th sloka, this particular line. So just as a heads up, let me go to that 10th line.
Guru Anna, sorry for disturbing. Sorry. Is this Vishnu Sahasranama or Vadiraja Stotra? What is this?
This is Vishnu Sahasranama, but it's written Vadiraja Stotra is there. So in the beginning, we have not decoded. So I'm guessing 1 or 2 stotra must have been there from Vadiraja Stotra.
Okay. And I have not attended previous classes, so I am lost. I don't know where is the link, and I don't know any of this.
Okay. In the WhatsApp group, I've given the links. Okay. So what I'll do,
I just joined the WhatsApp group, so I am lost.
Oh, okay. So you might have missed. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll copy and paste that link to you. Again, so you'll get it. The personal link I'll give you. So once you log in, we have that one file there, a template. So let me see if the template is there here somewhere.
I can send it to you. That's
okay,
fine.
Yeah. So basically, we have put the image of this manuscript on top, and then at the bottom you'll see a table, either in Kannada or Tulu. Both we have put. So line by line, you kind of write the decoded letters. Okay. Like as we are doing right now, it's easier you type the alphabets and keep it. Otherwise, you have an additional job of typing it.
And how it works? How many people are working that, and from where we have to start?
So what we have done is we have done 2 or 3. I think about 3 per team might be okay.
Okay.
And I sent a Google form to sign up for teams. Google form, and people can sign up in the Google form and see if some of them want to be in the same team or some want an expert. Like that, we'll merge like you are good in reading Tulu script. So she will very good. So some other team, they might need your help because they can read the stotra, right? So like that, we want to merge like that. So it will become decoding becomes very fast, right? Then very quickly we are able to read everything, and then we will know what it is. So we'll make some teams and then basically preferred times, right? So you may be free Wednesday evening or Wednesday morning or some in the evening. So if you can just coordinate that, I'll make an Excel sheet and we'll start. I'll put that in. I'll make it writable for all of you. So if you guys can slowly start adding there, then we can kind of formulate. I know it's a little hard job. All of you are busy, but I think this is a great work that I think as a community we are contributing. This is really fantastic because Swamiji, he has joined us. He is from Swamiji. You're from Jaipur, or I forgot the location. Jaipur. So he just showed me a picture yesterday. They got Pandulipi manuscripts. So many he got yesterday, and they were so excited to start decoding. And so he had also mentioned of one more location where there are a lot of manuscripts. So they're all sitting there, and like we saw in Udupi, some are very bad shape, right? We don't even want to lift that page because I know it's only one time. If I lift it, it is damaged. So we are also worried not to disturb the feelings of the people, but some of them, they want to know what it is. If it's important, then it has not been decoded, we want to do it. But if it has been decoded, then okay, we can kind of leave it as it is. So at least identifying first few lines and pages was important. Like this manuscript that we got from Abhiram's family, that looks like it is very, very important, right? So we are just making ground to prepare. And whatever Vajraja manuscript library, they have told, they have a whole lot of things there. They badly need help. So we are training on one end students there, so they can stay active, and we'll teach them new skills, machine learning, image processing, so they feel interested. Otherwise, very difficult to get the youngsters. So that is the biggest problem all these manuscript centers are having. Every manuscript center, that is the biggest problem. So slowly we have to automate. No way we can do this manually. But if we get a huge community like this going, this will be great. So everybody puts a little time, every day, one line, one word. It still adds. It still adds a lot. So this is the first, I think, movement happening like this. So I really congratulate you being part of this. That's why I took all my staff to Udupi. It is a hard, everybody taken off their work, taken to Udupi, and they came back only 2 weeks later. So I have no staff for 2 weeks. But we got a lot of things scanned. And Swamiji has also given us a link of a scanner, and Udupi Manuscript Library is also trying to get one. It's about 50,000 rupees for that scanner, I think. But there's a cheaper one Swamiji mentioned. So we will see how best we can do all this. As of now, we have taken with some good cameras, new cameras we have taken. We have taken lights, and this image that you're seeing, this is given to us. So we didn't scan it. So we are starting like this. The ones we got, we know where to go and get it fast. If some things are badly needed, then we'll go and double check on that particular page. So we have sequenced when we took images like this big manuscripts, I have to take 2 images, left side, right side. So what I did in the middle, I kept a pen in the manuscript. So, the left side is, when the pen is on the right side, it's the left side image. When the pen is on the left in that image, it's on like that. So we kind of got a hint. And then, we didn't have time to name all these hundreds of images we have taken. Based on the time, next to next. So in this class, we will sequence and put it in that Word file. Then we know it belongs to that, and then your decoded text is at the bottom. Okay. So some we have to join. So some may be decoding left side, some may be decoding the right side of the manuscript. And then where some help is needed to quickly add them into one document. So some, unfortunately, because if I hold the camera high up, we cannot get the whole manuscript clearly. And if I try to focus the bad areas, the other areas are getting blurry. So we had a lot of challenges taking a clean image. Now with scanner, what happens? The light is too bright. You cannot just like that shine and scan it. Okay, so it's also equally bad. So there is some diffusion needed in the light. So we covered the lights with the white dhoti, and we tried to diffuse the lights. We didn't use LED. LED was very, causing glariness, shininess. So we used the other lamps, like the halogen lights, and we covered with cloth and little orange color, and that's the light that worked better. So one person was constantly moving the lights left of the manuscript, right of the manuscript. Other person was flipping. One person was taking images. So it took about 3-4 people to handle this. And when you keep it back, we have to carefully put it back the same way. So pages have to be, put the right way. So it was a process, but at least we got this started, right? So we can slowly have different people. If we pay some interns in Udupi, that's why I've sent a proposal to all of you. So whatever you decode, they'll start putting it back together, quickly check with scholars there. So all that work, taking images, merging images. So we want to kind of slowly have that teams also in Udupi and maybe in Bangalore, Vidyapita, and Swamiji is starting his work in Jaipur. So maybe he'll have a team also there. So hopefully we can start doing this great work before they all get destroyed. We feel bad when you go touch this manuscripts, you feel connected hundreds of years ago, and we feel bad that we as a society ignored all this knowledge, and we need to somehow do something. The best we can do is decode and preserve. So I got 2 blank manuscripts. What I'm going to do is my laser is broken down. So I'm going to, when I visit US, somehow I'll try to get that laser ordered. And we can start burning on this new manuscript. Once you guys decode, right, with our font, then I'll try to burn on a blank manuscript and see how it comes. So that will be permanent. There is no ink. It'll burn it. So hopefully that will stay for a longer time. And maybe we can give it back, or the important ones, we can store it that way also. Because Swamiji also mentioned of printing it. So we can also try that technique. But once you keep in a digital form, it can get destroyed, misplaced. So that's the danger, right? Outdated, new technologies will outdate the way we record and keep, like microfiches. So we want to take some of these important ones initially and quickly see if it has been done before, or it's a copy of some Vishnu Sahasranama or something. Then we can move on to the next manuscript. So initial work may be like that also, quickly figuring out whether it's a new one or which one it is. So this particular line, as I said, ends in 10, I think. So pratyayaha, I can see ta ya in the 10th sloka there. I see the word pratyayaha. So ta ya kya ya ha, right? You see the visarga here, pratyayaha. And then in the 10th sloka, it says sarva darshanaha, but I don't see the whole word. I see sa. There is you can see va, and there is a arkavatu on the top, a single line. Sarva and da is there. That's it. Sarva da. Darshanaha is maybe in the next manuscript. So for us, we just got these 3 initially to practice. And like this, we have some more practice from a different author. We'll pick it up. So you guys get now familiar, because this has already been decoded. We know this. But Vajradha Stotra is in the beginning somewhere. So if you guys slowly start decoding, I put 3 images there. The title, it also has a line. I don't know what's in there. So if you guys can check. I think it had Om Ganeshaya Namaha, Narayanaya Namaha. And then there is one sloka. I don't know what is that. That's what could be Vajradha Stotra. So if you can check that. Now,
are you talking about the first image other than the title?
First image and the second image beginning.
I started trying to decode that. I got a couple of words out of it, but
okay. Now follow that method. You start writing line by line. So
okay.
Otherwise, it will be lost. So even in the middle, you kind of leave some space in the beginning, middle of the line. You've decoded something, you write in the middle of the line. Okay.
I've tried to keep it as close as possible. I've written line 1 and then try to decode that.
Okay. So that that might help. Now I'm trying to see that. I'm trying to bring up that file. Did you all download that file to decode and write?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So if I have that, I'll try to pop it up. Let me see. Manuscript students, manuscript decoding project. So if you come up with better techniques, right, then this we will all improve and share with each other. Because as of now, we don't know of anything that's going to be easier. So we're just trying our best. But it is a little tedious. Okay, so I'm going to share this file. So for each manuscript, and likely that I may give you some in parallel also, because sometimes it's frustrating if you cannot make progress, right? So I don't want you guys getting frustrated, and try to relax your eyes a little bit. So what I'll do is also keep other things that are cleaner to read and we can make progress, but we don't want to leave some things behind. So if you're seeing Vajradhya Stotra I made or a document like this, we are going to make for each set of manuscripts. Okay. So you see that first page, right? It is written in Kannada, Vajradhya Stotra, Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra. Because somebody wrote in Kannada easily, we knew this manuscript is in Vajra Stotra. So here there are some instructions on line number, everything. So if you guys download this file, and for those who have not, I've sent you some links. If you give me, if you sent your email, it will give me an email. I'll give permission. So this is the line Srival you're asking, right? So somewhere in this is the Vajradhya Stotra, if I'm right. Okay. So we don't know that. So if slowly we can decode, then we'll know. So in this image, if you see, there's ink on the top, there's no ink on the bottom, right? So we don't know the situation in those days, right? I mean, very difficult times, right? So each one had his responsibility. If he has no ink, he has no ink, right? He has to move on, do what the best he can. But here it is line. We have given 7 lines. There's 7 lines we can find. And you can either write in Kannada or you can write in Tulu also. So as and when you decode, if you start typing, right? So it becomes easier. So let's learn the script faster. Okay. So we're given the options. Now what we'll do from here is take like maybe 3 lines is one team, other 3 is another team. Then we're going to take it, combine it. Okay. Then between our team, we are going to cross check if there is a way we can work on. And we'll try to get Shastriji, and I found one more scholar, and Swamiji is there now. So somehow quick ones with their time available, right? They're all busy. So we have to quickly, important ones, we get it decoded from them. And also we'll learn Sanskrit in the mean. So this is how we have formed the system right now, right? So same thing with page 2. Okay. So if this, with our font size, I think we can fill each line in one. Okay. So I think font size 10 or 11, I think you should be able to complete one line, giving a space in between the words. Okay. So because that's the only way we can read right now. So please give some space between words once you identify. If you don't know which the space, just leave it like that. Don't worry. Okay. So we'll get with someone with Sanskrit knowledge to provide those things properly. So that is the why we needed the decoding first, no matter what, even if it is. And if there is something you cannot read, you put an X mark. Okay. And later on, we'll come with more conventions. This X mark I saw in Tulu Ramayana also. The Tulu Ramayana that we decoded last month. Okay, we took a couple of months. We submitted last month. There I saw the manuscript that is there in Dharmasala is probably from 1700s to 100. That is a summer manuscript. Somebody has written the secondary author. Secondary author name is not known. He has put X also wherever he could not understand from the original manuscript. He put X also. So I think that convention is probably useful for us to follow that. And then if he's 3 alphabets he could not decode, he has put a 3 X's there. So they didn't have square brackets those days, but if you want to put square brackets and 3 X's Either way, let me know. We'll slowly, based on our experience, we can suggest and improve to others. We'll follow that conventions down the road. So we're keeping it very simple as of now because the focus is to get the alphabets. That is the first step. Then we'll see the other things of translation. We'll have other teams. Because if you do this hard work, then other people, we can easily get them. That's not a problem. But this is the hard part. So make sure that size of the image you scan, keep it at size where it doesn't hurt the eyes. And please use your computer, not the phone, because phone is going to strain you. So please use your computer. And the cheat sheet you can keep in the phone, like Vishnu Sahasranama in Kannada or Hindi on the right side, you can keep it, right? That you can do. But this one, the image of the manuscript, this particular sheet that you're watching, please make sure it is in larger size. So yes, it's going to be swapping between a couple of images on your computer, but I think that will be best to start with, and then you'll get used to it. We have all these tools. We can use all the great tools to search. Any inputs? So it's almost an hour. So let's wrap it here. If you have any inputs, please let us know. Swamiji, any inputs, final thoughts for us? Sure. Yes. No, that's the thing. That's why I was in a hurry to get all this. But people, as and when they see this importance, they will feel about it. And I quickly saw this, half the team has learned the script. So it's important I don't give any gap. That's why we hurried and got all this scanned and formed this in a hurry, so that the others can also join. So that was the intent. So there is that Drive link on the right side, someone posted. I think that is to our Drive, Google Drive. So if you click that, it'll ask me for permissions and I'll grant permissions. If not, I will repost all those things again, if you're not, for those of you who join. Swamiji, I think I sent you a link also. Wrap this Vishnu Sahasranama. So you'll get a good feel. So then of the 5 or 6 that we have scanned, we will see which one and start picking up, because I know the one from Abhiram's family is very important one. So now to first is identify what it is. Maybe we can start with 1 or 2 pages of that. And also from Udupi, Acharya has given us a couple. So we'll take 1 or 2 pages of that and see both the beginning and the end. So if we can identify, that will be great. And then we'll make a priority which one to start with. I'm very excited with Abhiram's family, because we know that is come from a very known scholar, because his name was mentioned in a book, who is the guru of all the current Swamijis. All the current Swamijis have written about that person. So he, in that book, he said, I studied from so-and-so, and that is what we found. So this must be at least 200 years old, in my opinion, 250 years at least. So once we figure what those 3 textbooks are, so all the Vedic procedures might be there. My guess is it is the Vedic procedures, because Swamiji's only go to those gurus for very specific learnings, not the common ones. So we'll figure it out soon. And if we have to rescan, we'll try. And we'll try. Our goal is to get a small team in Udupi. So very quickly we can get a lot of this, send somebody there to scan it or rescan it, or send them to a scholar. Or so we are soliciting funds to build that. And also my staff, since they did this Tulu Ramayana, so they're kind of versed in putting this into very nice. You saw the document; it came out very nice. The person who designed the cover, the person's Satish made sure the template was set. We have Ayodhya on the background on that image. We have manuscript on the top. So now left and right Tulu and Kannada scripts. So suddenly, I know we had to print it so that people understood what we are doing. Even this work that you're doing, it can be either online or we can print it, right? Either way. But that form really impressed Swamijis. I showed to 3 Swamijis in Udupi. They were all impressed. Now all of a sudden they want their manuscripts also converted. So since this is a human process, all we can do is hold classes. In the 3rd week of May, I'll hold classes for them. And then those guys will be the team in Udupi. So very slowly we can start building that. And we have to kind of keep them motivated. One is with some money and other is with new tools. So the students will stay motivated. Because that was the biggest problem Achar mentioned to me. Same thing in Dharmasthala. Dharmasthala is a well-to-do organization temple. But again, there are only 1 or 2 persons there. How much can 1 or 2 person do there? Very difficult. So what we did was amazing. Even Hegde sir said, this is great, right? So even their curator there in the museum told, sir, we have 2,500 manuscripts. You don't have to go anywhere. Melukote, they said 10,000 manuscripts. And Swamiji said he already got, I don't know how much you got, Swamiji. Wow. And that itself was the entire table, right? 2 tables full of. Okay. All right. So we will try our best to slowly develop technology along with this. That way, easily we can start decoding soon. This is our first attempt. So let's see, and we can share each other's experience. And if there is bigger donors, we'll all connect and make this a community funded things, because it's important. This is the best we can do to pass it to the next generation. So that's why it's very important. Whatever is there, we preserve and get scholars to help us decode it, translate it, most importantly. So let's try. So this is our beginning, and I really appreciate this core team of people coming together. I know it's busy weekends, you have other things, but still appreciate Swamiji coming at early morning, 6 o'clock, and blessing us. And hopefully we need your blessings for the future work. And yes. And that, Swamiji, we still need work on that, because we are not able to decode it fully, because that Tulu is no longer in use. That's a combination of Sanskrit, Tulu, and Tamil. Maybe little Kannada. We don't have Kannada is there, but at least Tulu, it has Tamil, Sanskrit, and Tamil, Sanskrit, and Tulu. So some index they've given at the bottom, decoded some words, and they've written. Now that it's in a poetic form, so like a Bhagavatam style. So that work is still there. So we need again some scholars, but somehow that is, I think, very important, because time period wise, probably I'm guessing that's one of the older Tulu manuscripts that they've got. And it's a copy of a copy, and we don't even know if that other one is a original or somebody prior have written it. But it is really, because there's a lot of Tigalari was used by a lot of poets. So it was, if you look south of Sri Lanka, that land is already gone. So there was a meeting when that was there. They had about 5,000 poets had met there. And a lot of Tulu and Tamil was mentioned in those written things. So Tulu land must have been under the water now. And we are a few of us left on this part of the land. So it's important we somehow get to this, because it's got a lot of poetic things that we have never uncovered. So this Tulu, what we speak, we can't even decipher even one line. It's nowhere close to our current Tulu. So we have lost that dialect already. So, and our dialect is again, because of the script, keyboard, font, we are able to revive it. And that's why this work that we are doing will probably help revive Tulu and help other languages in 30 years from now. So they would face the same situation of what Tulu is right now. So that's why we want to somehow get it to the digital world, get it connected, get computing properties established, so people see how important Tulu script or Tiglari script is. All right. Any others? Any comments? Anybody? So we will keep watching the WhatsApp group. So I'll again form teams and from next week, maybe we'll have one more session next Saturday. In between, if I can get the teams organized, you guys can meet in between. So give me 1 or 2 days. Please fill that Google form when you folks are free. So we will choose the next one. So I think I want you individually doing all this, these 3 pages of Vishnu Sahasranama. And if you can decipher Vajraja Stotra somewhere in the first 2, it is great. First one we have not done, the first image. Second image we started in the middle, in the beginning of the whole. So somewhere some extra shloka may be there. Kindly pick it up. And I will see you all soon. Okay. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Namaste, Swami.
Thank you. Thank you, Swamiji. Guru Anna, namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.